All right, so I just wanted to show you how I prep a surface before I do my collage art. Most of the time you'll see me using these wood panels. Sometimes I will use a canvas board. They work really well too. Or like a heavy-duty mixed media or watercolor paper. They work well too. So, but my favorite is this wooden canvas, and this just happens to be a 6x8 wooden canvas that I'm getting ready to do a workshop, and I thought I would just hop on here and show you how I prep the canvas, the wood canvas, for collage art. So I am using this matte fluid medium from Liquitex. And it works really well. It's not the only adhesive you can use, but this is the one that I go to most often and the one I'm using today. And then I have my silicone, I call it a spatula. I don't know what it's really called, but I use it to put the adhesive down. And you can cover, so what we're going to be doing is using the adhesive and covering this with paper. And it's not actually our collage project. It's just prepping the canvas for the collage project, and I still call it collaging, but it's just not it's the underneath layer. I hope I make sense. I make sense in my head, but I don't know. Okay, so I am using old, I just tore out some magazine, cut some magazine pages that I'm going to be using, but you can use, you can use all kinds of different papers. You can use book pages, dictionary papers, sheet music, old maps, old junk mail, an old paper bag, I mean, probably tissue paper, notebook paper, whatever you have, you can use just to cover your surface for getting ready to do some pretty collage art. Okay. I'm gonna just, how I start is I just go ahead and get some of the adhesive onto my surface, and I'm using this. You can also use, let me see here, I do have, this is an old bank card, expired debit card. You can use that too. But I just get a pretty thick layer on my surface here, kind of smoothing it out so there's no big huge lumps or anything. And then I like to tear my paper, and I just tear it and I stick it on here. And it's okay if it overlaps just a little bit, or it's probably okay if it overlaps a lot. We'll be taking the extra off at the end. So I just will do a couple of pieces of paper on here and just overlap them a little bit. Okay, and then I come back, I'll just go ahead and go back, oops, I just come back over them with more adhesive. I still had some on my spatula, but if you need to add a little bit more, and I am heavy-handed with this stuff because I want it to stick good, but I just flatten it out, and I'm getting any wrinkles out, any air bubbles out. I'm pushing it down to make sure it's sticking really well. And then I just do it again. And why do we do this? I get that question quite often. Because collage is about layers, and we are putting on the first layer. Excuse me. And it adds interest, it adds texture. If you are using something like paper to collage with for your substrate, it would strengthen it. And it's kind of fun. It's fun. And when I first started doing this kind of art, my mentor, that's the way she did it. And she makes beautiful, beautiful work. And I just kind of think of this as like the foundation of our art. And you can even put in there, this, I'm just today using just a magazine, but if you had, let's say you had old letters from a grandparent. Now I wouldn't say collage the letters onto the, you could use the letters and collage onto the surface, or what if you made a copy of those letters and used the copies? So you had, it was special meaning, had, you know, a grandparent's handwriting underneath the art. Or what if you had, you know, a favorite song that just meant a lot to you? You could use a song music sheet for that song and put it underneath. So it just, you can, it can have special meaning, this bottom layer too. So, oops, a little slidey there. Yeah, I'm just making sure that get the air bubbles out. It's flat. Got a lot of glue on there. Okay, so I'm just making sure I got all the air bubbles out. I see a little tiny spot right there that I did not cover. I'm going to get that. All right. Just kind of pushing a few wrinkles and air bubbles that I see in there out. And just making sure that the whole surface has a good layer of the adhesive on top. So it's underneath and it's on top. And then the hard part starts, because you have to wait for it to dry. And if you're like me, you're usually like all excited and want to get going with your project. But a hint, if you are watching a movie or just relaxing, make several of these. Go ahead and just prep 5 or 6 surfaces, different sizes and whatnot, and then next time you are wanting to collage, they will be ready to go for you and you won't have to wait. All right, thank you friends for joining me. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if you want to join me for a workshop, I will have links below. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Bye.